Hello, my name is Torres, and I'll be presenting the research investigating differences between monolingual and bilingual students' study habits, which I did with my teammates Christopher and Alexis. Purpose of this research. The purpose of this research was to find the differences between how bilingual and monolingual students study. How often do they study? What type of methods do they use? And if there were any benefits from knowing more than one language. Method. In order to investigate our research question, we conducted a survey method to collect our data, which consisted about 15 questions and took around 5 minutes to complete. The participants were from the UTRGV English 1302 class, and the survey was completely voluntary, as well as that the participants remained anonymous throughout all the survey, since we didn't collect any emails or names. We had a total of 15 participants, which were bilingual students and monolingual students. One of the questions we asked was, how do you identify yourself? You are bilingual or monolingual? Out of the 40 participants, 100 of them represented themselves as bilingual. I said 100 because only one of them represented himself as monolingual, and since we only had one monolingual student, we couldn't really include it since we didn't have enough information. I think that when we believe that contributed to this is that the UTRGB academic institution is primarily composed of Hispanic students. Another question that we asked was, how often do you study a week? Six of the participants, which is the majority, responded that they study about 0 to 2 times a week. Five of them responded that 2 to 4 times a week, and only two of them responded that 5 to 7 times a week. By analyzing this, we can conclude that the majority of the students don't really like to study, or if they end up doing it, they just do it like 2 times a week. Another question was, what study methods do you use? Out of the 14 participants, 9 of them responded that they use online sources, which is the majority by far, which means that the online sources are probably easier to access as you can use your phone, your laptop, your tablet, or any electronic device that you have to access them instead of just bringing flashcards or schedule a group study. Explanation of new problems. A new problem found was that there was more only bilingual students than monolingual students. While using our data, we noticed that there was only one monolingual student who participated in our survey, while the rest were bilingual students. So we couldn't really differentiate on how bilingual and monolingual students studied different. Therefore, we could only talk about bilingual students. To solve this new problem, we can gather more information about monolingual students and how do they study to see if there are any differences in the way they study, how often do they study, or the information that they study. Action to take. The purpose of this flyer is to try to gain the attention of monolingual students so it can be more of a discussion on how monolingual students study differently than bilingual students. As you can see here, it says that in the US, 79% of the children ages from 5 to 17 only spoke English at home. And that means that 21% out of the US children, only the 25% spoke a different or additional language. Here are some references. Thank you for your time.